Transmitting to you from Old Heart Radio.
Hello. Yes, that's right. Weird noises at the beginning of the podcast means coffee and contemplation has begun. That is right, you filthy hot dogs. Crawl out of whatever buns you're in and get in between my ears, or let me get in between yours. However that works. Either way, okay. So like I said, coffee and contemplation. I'm Old Heart, aka Jared, your hot dogs listening right there. Hope you're doing well. This is the first Coffee and Contemplation of June, because the last Coffee and Contemplation was the end of May. Sounds so epic, right? Well, guess what? It's really just dates, you know. If you follow us on Instagram at Old Heart Radio, you'd note that our last post featured me commenting on how we filled up all of our space in May for our hosting site, at least all the money that I pay for the hosting site. And now we're fresh, refresco. All right. All right, enough of this bullshit. If you read the title of the podcast, you would note that we are talking about chilling UFO stories or sightings or weird things, I guess. Anyway, this is a Reader's Digest article. Trust me, I didn't find it sitting on your mom's toilet. I found it online, okay? Reader's Digest has a few here. And they just start out swinging, okay? The first one is titled Barbara Lamb and the Lizard Man. So apparently a woman named Barbara Lamb, a psychotherapist who observed crop circles, claimed that a reptilian figure appeared in her house one day, as reported by Vanity Fair. Apparently this reptilian figure was tall and had piercing yellow eyes. Normally not fond of snakes and lizards, the reptile appeared friendly and welcoming to Barbara Lamb, so she reached out to touch its hand. Then the lizard man vanished suddenly. Okay, wow. That's a lot to unpack there. Just based off of this, I don't know. Again, this is all in Reader's Digest, okay? Zimbabwe children and the end of the world. In September of 1994, several UFOs allegedly hovered near a school in Rua, Zimbabwe. Again, reported by Vanity Fair. Is this just a repost of Vanity Fair information? The children who observed these UFOs were apparently terrified, and they were asked to explain what happened. They described beings with big heads and no nose, just a couple of holes, apparently, no mouth, and long black hair. The children said they were dressed in dark suits and communicating telepathically. A quote from one little girl said, "I think it's about something that's going to happen." Apparently, continuing, she said, "What I thought was maybe the world's going to end. They were telling us the world's going to end. I don't even know. It just popped in my head. He never said anything. He talked just with his eyes." Well, I don't know. I don't. Okay. The Rendlesham Forest Incident. This is another one. Are these okay? I thought these were supposed to be actual sites. Anyway, these are just stories that people have made up or potentially made up. Not trying to paint anybody's picture here. Known as Britain's Roswell, the Rendlesham Forest Incident is one of the most famous UFO reports. The reason? According to Reader's Digest, it's because the witness... It just sounds silly saying out loud, doesn't it? According to Reader's Digest. Anyway, the reason it's known as the Britain's Roswell is because witnesses involved in December 1980 witnesses that were involved in the December 1980 event were in fact U.S. military personnel and considered highly credible witnesses. They reported seeing an alien artifact zoom through the forest. When they went to go check it out, it seemed as though strange hieroglyphics were written all over the craft. It turned out that this was most likely a prank played on the U.S. soldiers by the British military. Well, that explains it. That right there. Damn Brits. All right, I don't mean that, Brits. I know some of you are listening. There's like 3 of you in Britain listening. How's the whole Brexit situation looking over there? I really need to look into that. I haven't followed it up. Anyway, we're not contemplating that. Anyway, the next thing on this Reader's Digest article is called the O'Hare International Airport Saucer. On November 7, 2018, United Flight 446 was about to depart from Chicago's O'Hare International Airport when a dozen United Airline employees spotted an armed metallic craft hovering at the gate. The employees reported that it hung in the air in several minutes before finally shooting up at breakneck speed into shit. Shout-outs to all of you listening, you hot dogs. Get on Instagram and follow us at Old Heart Radio. Follow us on Twitter at Old Heart in Space. Subscribe to the YouTube Old Heart Radio, and you might win a prize. That prize being another podcast. Yeah, okay. Anyway, back to the story. The UFO apparently... So the UFO's hanging around and then boom, shot out of the gate. Boring. The Melbourne 350. More than 300 students and teachers of Westall High School in Melbourne, Australia, apparently saw an unbelievable sight April 6th, 1966. They were all looking incredulously at 5 planes that were attempting to corner and capture a UFO. This went for a while before the UFO zipped away out of sight. It is reported that the headmaster of the school and even strange men in black suits told the students and teachers never to say anything about it, even though it was witnessed by hundreds of people. Very Men in Black feeling. I wonder if that was the inspiration for the most recent Men in Black remake with Chris Hemsworth. Although I really, honestly, I can't rightly say if I've seen that. I think I put it on once and fell asleep, woke up with it playing, turned it off, went back to sleep. You know what I mean? One of those situations. So I kind of watched it. Anyway, one of the things I was interested in about that other story I wanted to note was that at the Rendlesham Forest incident, it was saying that, you know, the witnesses involved were supposedly credible because they were, you know, U.S. military personnel, so they were considered credible, highly credible witnesses, apparently. And that shit's is what's been going on recently. Not only has the government been starting to confirm that they have unidentified aerial vehicles or whatever. UFOs is what they are. They're unidentified flying objects. Okay, we're all laymen's here on Contemplation, right? Excuse me. So there's been lieutenants, there's been naval pilots that have come forth and shared some of their stories and their encounters personally while flying, you know, and whatnot, trying to pinpoint these unidentified flying objects. There have also been, you know, verified there's been not tons, but there's been quite a bit of verified footage that has been confirmed by, you know, levels of the government, let's say. So it's really interesting. There's theories going around that they are kind of like soft, you know, prepping us for the actual bombshell of like, boom, aliens are here, or some shit like that. Or that I read this like wild theory that like Donald Trump has you know, knowledge of alien life now because he was the fucking president, and he might be like publishing a book, or like he might be like, you know, leaking the secret, so they want to like get ahead of it in the public or some shit. Anyway, it's been really wild following this. It's like every other fucking day I feel like I have like a new item that I see that's like confirmed UFO footage, or like I just saw this one that was talking about a naval vessel that was like apparently swarmed by unidentified flying objects on their radar, and it was a confirmed video. Anyway, it's been fucking wild lately. And I feel like the hush-hush mentality really needs to go away, man. Like, I don't think like we need to like jump at the gate and say like, yes, the fucking Barbara Lambs or Reptile Man, with her touching its skin and disappearing is legit. But like, what the fuck is up with all these flying saucers or UFOs? Let's be real. All right, what else we got? Robert Matthews in Missing Time. According to CBS Reality, an airman named Robert Matthews got off a bus in Cape Cod, Massachusetts to report for his first tour of duty back in 1966. Matthews saw strange lights appearing in the deserted area where the bus driver told him to call and wait for a truck to pick him up and take him to the base. Afraid, he used a payphone, which they don't really have these days. So kids, those were phones that had booths sometimes, or maybe they were just like on the exterior of a building or standalone, and you went in, you put a couple dimes or a quarter in, and you dialed your number and you called. Or you tried to call collect. I spent a lot of time prank phone calling the collect call place because there was a payphone across the street from Eastmont High School at the pool. Fun fact. Anyway, so apparently this dude saw some lights and apparently missed some time. I don't know. To be fucking frank, I'm disappointed by this Reader's Digest list. All right, this article, although it did enlighten me about Barbara Lamb's Reptile Man and the Zimbabwe children's UFO experience with the aliens with the holes in their faces, it's not what I was looking for. What I was looking for, and this is the day we live in, right? I was looking for something that was like credible sightings, verified in 2020, 2021. I don't know. I'll find that for next week or whatever. Either way, I think it's wild that there's finally being talked about UFOs, right? And I think that there's something slid into the first kind of COVID relief bill that was requiring the government to take a look at this or something. I'd have to get back to you with the actual information on that, but it's as somebody who's been an avid kind of follower of UFO stories, although I can't think of a single instance of my own, I am fascinated by what these vehicles could be. They appear to go flying above, in the air, flying around. They appear to go underwater. I don't know. Either way, all I know is you should go out there and use your brain for good, because every day is a good day to ripen up that coconut. Why? Because you should. Keep your stick on the ice.